Well, well, well. What a day. We're back to the Trump trade, ladies and gentlemen. That's the truth. That's where we are right now. Trump come out with the exact comment. China purposefully not buying our soybeans and causing difficulty for our soybean farmers is an economically hostile act. So what you've got to understand what the Trump trade is this. He's going to piss everyone off, which he already has done, given that the stock market has taken a nosedive, right? He's going to make everyone believe that something bad is happening with regards to trade. So then investors have to transition their assets and start going into safe havens, increasing the value of gold, getting people interested in dollar dominance as well. You're falling out with the world's factory. You're putting tariffs on the world's factory. But the US is the world's consumer. So who's going to give in first? They can't do nothing without China, and China can do nothing without the US. In other words, Trump's, as I said, he's got everyone upset about tariffs and trade. He's only going to bring it back. There's an old Turkish proverb that said, God takes away the donkey to give you the pleasure of getting it back. That's an old Turkish proverb that I read. This is exactly the same. Trump takes something away. Oh, everything drops. Bitcoin drops. And he's like, here you go, man. Take it back, man. Take it back. And you're like, yeah, Trump, hoorah, you know? Anyways, let's break down this madness, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, by the way, did you not hear about the latest partnership? Anyone know about it? Circle. You think I've got a crystal ball, ladies and gentlemen. It's just putting logic together, that's all. Trying to use what little brain we have, ladies and gents. Anyways, I'm going to tell you about my trading day. I'm going to tell you about Bitcoin. I'm going to break down this madness. I'm going to tell you about Powell and his boring ways. And then we're going to go into a very big day tomorrow, because tomorrow, quite frankly, is the make or break for the tech market. All right? So if you are new, look at the TV. Let's get with the program, gang. So, stocks fall as Trump remarks fuel trade worries. Well, that wasn't the case before he spoke. Let's quickly go and have a look. Add a little bit of flavor to the upside on Bitcoin. Going over to the NASDAQ. We had some flavor here. Now, again, NASDAQ, it had an aggressive open. But this is a stopping volume candle. And it was around this time that I took several positions in the options market on the creation of this stopping volume candle. I gave the guys a heads up in the Discord and the Platinum members, and I said to them, listen, we have got a stopping volume candle forming on the NASDAQ with the promise of it going higher if it continues to sustain itself. And that's effectively what had happened. They marked it up. Powell and his comments, brilliant. Let's go and have a look. He says here, following the brief, where is it? There we go. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell's remarks reinforce bets on an October rate cut amid weakening labor market. So they're basically saying that non-farm payrolls is actually terrible. It's like they're given the idea that it is, okay? So with that being said, the market is like, okay, cool. What have I said? Easing cycle, ladies and gentlemen. If there's an easing cycle, things are going up, all right? May not get the equal just shoot to the upside, but that's what they did. And this is what they're doing. And this is what's happening here. So I took the trade on the NASDAQ, and it was quite a difficult trade, I'll be frank with you. So let me just refresh this so it doesn't look like it's like some copy and paste shit. But here we go. So today, on the options chain, we made around £26,000 on buying calls on NASDAQ, okay? Whilst I was buying these calls on NASDAQ, so I was getting various entries, different price. It was so difficult because the prices of the strikes was so high, okay? So like for this one here, opened 17 contracts at 103. So I was using around 20,000, nearly £20,000 margin, okay, to open these positions. And I was opening these positions in various spots. Let me just increase it so you can see it. Yeah, so I was opening these positions in different spots. But what I was also doing on the futures markets was I was scalping that, okay? So I'm placing trades in the options markets, and then I'm placing trades in the futures markets. And this was on my Ninja Trade on my personal account. Today we made $11,360. When you combine the two together in terms of conversions, you've got about $8,500. So about 34,000 500-ish for the day, trading just NASDAQ. And it was all on the basis of the stop in volume candle right there. In my entries, you'll see, where is it? My entry executions. I mean, I was just scalping frantically. It was trading the S&P and the NASDAQ. So it didn't trade as much today, actually. How many trades did we have? We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, that's 20 up to there. But anyways, that was the logic for today, guys. And I traded the stop in volume candle. There is a video on my channel which talks about the stop in volume candle in NASDAQ. It's called Why You Should Study This Reversal Candle. Just please watch it. It appeared on the 1 hour time frame, but it's notorious on the 4 hour time frame for NASDAQ. Okay? This what led to the reversal. Sweep of the Asian session range, came back, filled the gap, and made the reversal up, which is what led Bitcoin to the upside today. Okay? Now, let me explain something before we get into the logic. This Trump story with China is being designed to bring everything down, because it's also going to lead everything back up. We are in an easing cycle. Money's going to be cheaper, so they're going to mark everything down, and then they're going to make the reversal. Tariffs and trade war seems to be something the market is reacting to. But given that Trump has said this and trade tensions are coming into play, the market is doing really well for it. Very well for it. Usually when Trump speaks, the market just collapses, but they know his playbook. So whatever he says about China, if he does enforce the idea of tariffs, which apparently is going to probably be sooner than November the 1st. The gentleman said it today, Golson or something. He said it today that we'd probably get the 100% tariffs sooner than the 1st of November. I was looking at the NASDAQ and it kept trying to pull back and it wasn't going down. And this was before Powell spoke, which tells you that investors are what? They are more concerned about interest rate cuts. Why? Because you can then borrow money cheaper. That's what's important. Trade war is only going to last for a short period of time because Trump shows his hand like that. He takes away and he gives back. You can't be cheesed off with the world's factory. It doesn't make sense for the US either. I think Trump and Xi Jinping, when they meet up, they're going to be handshaking, they're going to be hugging, it's going to be happy days, and the markets are going to pump aggressively for it. Speaking of relationships, Circle and Safe partner to boost USDC adoption in DeFi and institutional self-custody. This company, man, I'm talking about, there is more partnering on here with Circle than there is on flipping Tinder. I'm telling you now, Circle is like, I'm not going to say it. I'll probably get in trouble if I say it. But you guys know what I'm trying to say about Circle. This shit is getting passed around. Yes, I'll get into a relationship with you. I'll get into a relationship with you. Yep, no problem. We'll take that on as well. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Anyone says USDC, they're in. They don't care about your background. They are in because that's exactly what Circle is about. IPO. Partnership 1, 2, 3. Do you not understand why XRP Ripple wanted to buy them out for $2 billion at their valuation then? Now they're worth way more than $20 billion. Have a look at Circle, man. Like I said, it might take a little while for you guys to get the idea of, look, when you've got this happening with this company, think of all the partnerships that are coming into play. These are transactions. Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. Someone is using the service. What does that mean? Well, you see these things at the bottom here? These are your quarterly earnings. So the more partnerships they have, the more adoption they have, the more orders they're processing, the more money investors are going to plow into it, the more earnings per share they're going to get, the higher this thing is going to end up going. Not bad for an IPO that's been sustaining nearly $30 billion worth of market cap. Not bad. They ain't letting this go. Now, I sound like I'm a part of a cult for Circle. I'm trying to just get you to understand how, and it's brilliant that it's happened because you can see how a company is growing organically. This is the definition of understanding where value comes. If you're a value investor, you can look at earnings per share, you can look at cash flow, you can look at the books, okay? But when you see activity happening in the company, which is only going to be reflective on their earnings, and their earnings per share and the encouragement from the street to buy the stock. Funds ownership right now has gone to 273. We were looking at this and I said to you, I ain't going to start playing this until it gets above 100. Now we are 273. This is going up. More funds are playing it. Funds only play 13% of the stock. Yeah? You're going to see that increasing soon. And when you see it increasing, you will also see its price increasing. This is how you organically see something grow in the stock market based on the service they provide. You can go and buy Coca-Cola. You can go and buy Bitcoin. Compare the fundamentals to Bitcoin to a company listed on the stock market. The only fundamental there is for Bitcoin is the prospect of its value in the future and what it means for money. That is it. And then you ask yourself why Wall Street dumps it and buys it all the flipping time. For me, it's just a place for you to exploit volatility. That's all Bitcoin is to Wall Street. It really is. Michael Saylor's trying to push the idea and narrative of Bitcoin to being the asset that everybody buys. Buy it, buy it. And you know what? In the future, when Bitcoin does really soar up aggressively, he will have the last laugh. He will. He will be the guy that says, I told you. But people don't see it like that now. Neither does the street. That's something you got to take into consideration. Bitcoin ETF, speaking of which. Let's see where your Bitcoin's going. 805,000 right now. Let's go over to the actual... oh, wow. They brought up another 302 ETH and 63 Bitcoin. Very interesting. I mean, look, man, these guys are confused. They don't know what they're doing, which tells you what people are pretty much where they're at with it. They don't know where they are with it. Going over into the order flow for Bitcoin, we can see, quite a few offers have been taken today. Happy days. There we go. Nothing. 39 million right there, 113,888. But tomorrow is when it gets interesting. ASML Holdings. First things first, they're going to declare their earnings tomorrow. This is what we need to know about it. ASML. This is going to impact your Bitcoin because if this company doesn't do well, then there's going to be a little bit of an issue. As it stands right now, they're looking like they're going to break out, possibly to break out the $1,000 mark and sustain itself. Now, if we go and have a look at their quarterly earnings to put it into perspective, you can see that their earnings are actually stellar, right? They are brilliant. 23% earnings, 20% in December quarter 2024. March quarter 25, 93% earnings, 47% sales. And then going into the last quarter, June 30th, 2025, 62% earnings, 36% sales. That is really good fundamentals. It looks like it's decelerating, but December 31st was 23.20, okay? Then they shot up to 93.47, and then they've come back down to 62.36, all right? Given tariffs and all of that stuff, AI, these guys are in business. That's why their share is $983 per share. My opinion is I believe these guys are going to go to around $1,500. Yeah, $1,500 a share. Flipping coin. What am I saying? The next company is TSML. Taiwan Semiconductor. All right, TSM. Don't know why I call it TSML. $295. Exactly the same story. Look at the earnings. This is all companies look at. This is what all investors look at. How much do I earn every single quarter for holding a share? $9.99 is what you're projected to get for every share that you hold of TSM this year. That's the estimate, right? Then in 2026, you're going to get $11.65 for every share that you hold of TSM, all right? What do you get when you hold Bitcoin? Fucking blood pressure. You lose your shit. You lose your hair. It's wife-changing money in the sense where the existing wife runs off and leaves you because your Bitcoin bag has just been annihilated. All right, so it puts you through that madness. Speaking figuratively, you get the idea that Bitcoin doesn't give you any fundamentals. All it is who's buying it, who's selling it. You want to see that? There's your Bitcoin. Oh, hold on. You're talking about decentralization. Dustbin. That's in the bin. That's over. Completely over. Completely over when you've got the US government writing up the Genius Bill and the Clarity Bill Act and all of that stuff. Well, crypto's mainstream now. It's not decentralized. It's mainstream. Centralized. Back in 2021, that's when your Bitcoin was decentralized. All right? They now want to use stable coins just for payment process and not for yield. Ah, come on, man. You kill the market. Well, then that will then truly reveal if they're out for us, ladies and gentlemen. Why? Because if they start to remove yield to be earned on USDT and USDC or stable coins overall, that prevents them from pulling the same stunt they did on Friday. And I'm sure they don't want to do that. 19 billion. Nah. More than that. Way more than that. Going into the high block to look at the open interest. Have we got any open interest? Is anyone even buying Bitcoin or trading it? Let's have a look. Here we go. Nothing. Let's start looking at smaller figures. Oh, of course, retail's down there. Yeah, smacking it with all sorts of retail positions. That's light liquidity from 348 million. Of course, it's just dog shit. There's nothing really happening here, ladies and gentlemen. They're not giving us anything. Let's look at the liquidations, the further future liquidations of where we are. Let's have a look. Here we go. So Bitcoin, 111. No, that's not right. Are we really at that point? 112,000. Okay, then. So liquidations start at 100. So they've already hit that. Hold on, let's just refresh this. Why aren't you doing it now? Come on. What's going on here? I have zero patience for this. Absolutely zero patience. Well, okay, so that was Friday. And today, we haven't really seen that many liquidations coming into play. So we saved ourselves $15 million worth of longs liquidated and shorts. Okay, so not bad. Liquidation map, it's taking forever. Liquidation heat map, taking forever. Too long. Wait, there we go. So the next point of interest in terms of liquidation is all the way up here. We're under $244 million worth of short liquidations. Around the 116,500 region. Yeah, 115,950 zone. Do we think Bitcoin's going to hit that point? Can easily come back up into this range right here, ladies and gentlemen, because Bitcoin is coming away from lows, and you have to absorb the idea that there's a possibility Bitcoin comes down to this point. The sooner it comes down to it, the sooner we're going to have a move to the upside. Why? Because we're going into a lot of data, a lot of events that could lead to a positive outcome. You've had great earnings from JP Morgan and, of course, Bank of America, BlackRock. And you've also got more earnings coming out from Morgan Stanley tomorrow. And then, of course, you have got on the Thursday, TSM, Schwab, Intuitive Surgical, Bank of New York, US Bancorp, and what have you. And then, of course, on the Friday, you have American Express. So really, it's the financial companies. But then when we start going over into the week after, ladies and gentlemen, then that's where it gets very, very interesting. Let's just mark that off right now. Let's go to the 19th and have a look at where we are with that on who is going to become. What the hell? What is going on here? Monday the 20th. We got, nothing to that. Energy companies coming into play. 21st, we've got Netflix. That's going to be a big mover, in my opinion, guys, if Netflix doesn't come through. 22nd, you've got Tesla, most definitely moving the market. And IBM, most definitely moving the markets. Then you've got T-Mobile. Intel will be interesting given the actual joint ventures with NVIDIA and, of course, the US government. Then on the Friday, the 24th, you've got Procter & Gamble, a couple of, the staples companies and what have you. But of course, we're all waiting for NVIDIA. That's the truth. Okay. Anyways, any questions, guys, before I let you guys continue about your day? Thought I'd just give you guys a bit of a heads up on that. Any question? Does it mean crypto is going to drop again? Bitcoin will, here we go. Bitcoin will visit the 98,000, even possible lower. Alts will cry in the corner. Have a look at the AI chart. It's crying. Fetch. That is sick. That is just so sick. That is unbelievable. Do you know what, man? It's so bad what's happened with these altcoins. So many people have just been wiped out. It's sickening. Real talk now, okay? Real talk, okay? How many of you, if you were to have your chance again, let's make the assumption, right, that you've got a bag of altcoins and you've been accumulating for ages and you've been waiting for this one time for your altcoin to pop, okay? And whilst you're waiting for this altcoin to pop, you're witnessing all these other assets moving up, but you're waiting for your altcoin to pop because it's just basically sat in a sofa store on the sofa that it's never going to be purchasing, and it's just sat there waiting just to see how long it can get comfortable for before it has to get up and go back to the reality of life. In other words, ain't doing shit, right? How many of you would say, forget this, I'm going to start going elsewhere, not even look at altcoins. If I'm in it for the money, I'm not going to sit there and hold on to it and hope that someone's going to come in and buy $1 million worth of my coin so it can pump my bag. How many of you, if you had your time again, would sack the idea of altcoins and focus on maybe BNB, Solana, Ethereum, and Bitcoin? Type 1 if you would only play those 4 assets. Type 2 if you're down with the altcoins and you're sticking with the altcoins and nothing's going to break you kind of thing. You know, and type 3 if you can just conjure up something else in regards to that. But I just want to know, if you had your time again, what would you do this time? What would you play? Would you play other assets? How many of you have actually ever considered trading bonds? How many of you actually purchased ETFs? You've got money to buy crypto, right? Go and buy yourself an ETF. You're paying mad prices for certain altcoins. Go and get yourself an ETF. Go and convert your dollars into euros. Go and buy some yen. Go and buy some gold, silver. You know, we're screaming about that. Go and pick up a stock that you can try and hedge yourself in, which is a little bit easier on the heart because crypto coins are up and down. I'm not trying to get you to come away from the idea. What I'm trying to say is this stuff right here has taken people's lives. So if you had your chance again, you've all got a second chance. You've lost money, but people have lost their lives. And that's the terrible thing about it. We'll make a laugh and a joke about people getting liquidated and shit. But the reality is, when it's big enough, it actually impacts people even worse. It really does. This game is brutal, man. The game is not to be blamed. You can't blame the game. You've come into the arena. Don't expect the arena to be nice to you. No way. You'll be chewed up. And people have been. Look at that. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Look at that. That is crazy. Yeah, you want to get rich quick, then you will die poor. That's the truth. You will. The get rich quick. Just go and read Jesse Livermore's stuff. I've quoted it enough times to you, yet people will still ask the question, why ain't my altcoin going up here? Why isn't it doing that? It's sad. It's sad. Tino, charts like MLTX, how to play those charts after missing expectations, hardcore dump, easy recovery, MTLX. Is this what is this? MLTX. Am I right with this? Is this a stock? I don't even know what that is. Nope, don't know what it is. Don't know why I've read that. Don't know why I've read that. Anyways. Not bad on the 13-hour. Quick. Oh! I'm going to show you something. Look at that going up now. Just wait there. I'm going to hook you up with something, right? I'm going to hook you up. Wait there. Don't leave. Just wait there. Just wait there. Who the Anyways, just wait there. Don't move. Don't move. I'm going to give you something right now, okay? Because I think this is going to serve you all, all right? Just be very careful with it. I'm just going to give you something. Just look at the just look at the TV for a second. Just wait there. I'm pulling something up for you, which I think is going to serve you in many ways. You want to play altcoins. You like the idea of altcoins, yeah? Okay, then. Cool. So I don't understand why this is taking absolutely forever. It's just stressing me out so much. Let me kill this. Here we go. All right. In front of you is a list of crypto stocks, okay? Just screenshot that for dear God. Just do it. Screenshot it. The energy that you put into altcoins, ladies and gentlemen, and it goes nowhere, start putting it into these companies right here. That's not financial advice. It's common sense. Why? You've got data on these companies. You've got physical people. You ain't got the worry of a dev leaving. You ain't got the worry of a liquidation. You ain't got a worry of nothing. Do you understand what it costs to get listed on the stock market? maybe I am trying to talk you away from thinking about things differently. But if you're holding altcoins, trading is different. Holding is different. This is, you want to invest in crypto, start here. Why? Because the reason why your altcoins aren't going up as much as you want them to is because Wall Street ain't picking them up. Haven't you asked yourself that question? ETF, Bitcoin, interest rates going up, going down, money's getting accessible, all-time highs, NASDAQ, and your altcoin is still looking like XRP. Let's be honest now. Why isn't the money going in? How long have you held onto your altcoins and they haven't done nothing? Ask yourself that question. Where's the money going? Well, if you want Wall Street money, go and buy shit that Wall Street buys. Cipher mining. What happened with that company? Did anybody know about cipher mining? No, but we did pay attention when Google got into bed with it. Well, that's the result of getting involved in Google. That means there is another number of other companies that could easily do the same thing. All right, they're a little bit expensive. You can't buy 0.00000001 of a coin. You ain't buying meme coins, ladies and gentlemen. You're buying stock, solid stuff. Like you and other people. Let's just pull a random company, okay? Let's have a look at Block, all right? XYZ. Let's look at Block, all right? What do we know about Block? XYZ, all right? What is this company? Cryptocurrency-based. Provides point-of-sale software to manage inventory, receipts, and analysts, right? These guys are involved in cryptocurrency, basically. How are things for them? $76 a share. Okay, cool. It looks like it's in its infantile stages. No, it's been around for quite some time. It's just a random company that's involved in cryptocurrency in some way, shape, or form. Provides point-of-sale software. What does that mean? They're going to start selling cryptocurrency or using cryptocurrency point of sales? This is a company that might actually do well from it, okay? Given that it's called Block. But anyways, all right, not that much activity going, but they've got a relatively decent earnings per share in the future. $3.51. For every share that you hold, you earn $3.51. Okay, how cool is that? That's brilliant. That's one stock. Okay, go and have a look at another one. Who else have we got? Let's just go back a second. Do you get the idea of what I'm trying to say to you? What's going to make your altcoin move? You're not going to get the same flavor as we got before because the priorities have changed. You're either going to buy Bitcoin, Solana, Ethereum, even now BNB. Just look what's going on behind the scenes with them. Bitcoin ETF, we got one. Ethereum ETF, we got one. Solana, pending. XRP, whatever. BNB, that could end up becoming an ETF. You don't know when it's doing such amazing gains. But did you get what I'm trying to say, man? I hope you do. I hope you do. Tower's up 95% since Friday's drop. What the hell? Okay, then. Let's have a look at Tower. It's up 95%. But how many of your altcoins are priced at $453? Even before that, priced at $142. None of you are buying altcoins at $142. You want to see your altcoin prices? Let's have a look. Okay. The most expensive coin, besides the fact that the top one is the totals chart at 1.5 trillion, right? The first altcoin that is expensive is Ethereum at $4,120. The next one is BNB at $1,200. The third one is AVE at $253, ZEC at $238, Solana at $200, Comp at $35, AVAX at $22, Link at $18, Zen at $12, ICP at $3, DOT at $3, but everybody's all too caught up on the idea that these are too expensive now. Let me start buying this one. So AMP 0.002, XPR USD 0.005, RSR 0.006, 1 0.007, ZIL 0.087. Well, you can't knock Zilliqa. I mean, those who know, know. Yasmi Coin, 0.010. Okay, so Gala, 0.01. Hold on a second. Am I repeating the same coin or am I just repeating the same prices? There's a reason why it's cheap. They may have their heyday. But in the meantime, what you're going to do, there's a reason why they are those prices. And there's a reason why these guys are these prices. Okay? You're battering your eyelids to buy a purchase of Ethereum or even BNB. stocks on the US stock market with more information right here. Okay? All right. Strategy's expensive, but you can at least get some fundamentals, even though they're dog shit. But you can get something from it. You can sleep at night knowing that if there is a market crash, you ain't the only person that's lost. Everyone else has lost. But the likeliness of that happening, a controlled crash is a different story, but a real crash where there's like an EMP or nothing works, it won't matter anyway. So you get the idea. And once you come away from that BS about altcoin season, it should be, how much money can I make right now? Can I make it? What's the trajectory like in the future? Well, it looks like the interest rate is going to get cut. So that means that's going to be beneficial to borrow money. Where are investors likely to get their money right now? Where are they likely to put it? They're going to put it in the stock market. Okay, cool. Where else could they put it? They could also buy US bonds. All right, cool. What does that mean? Well, if the dollar yield is going to go lower, that means euro is going to go higher. Okay, so I might actually convert some dollars that I've got in my portfolio, chuck it over into euro, leave it there. Maybe the Japanese yen, they're going to increase their interest rate soon. So you know what? I might put some yen over there. You got so many options, but now you're waiting for your 0.01 cent coin to make a move. You're waiting for a whale to come and pick it up. You want to play like that? Go and trade meme coins. At least you know where you stand with them. You ain't holding them for 5 years. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that makes sense to you all. Sorry I've chewed your ears off. Mad love and respect. Look at the TV. If it's worth it, happy days.